to risk everything, to risk exposure, to go against a galactic governing body, and stuff like that. Yeah, for corruption, for dodgy type of things, sure. To manipulate the human race into blah 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 and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, but not by aimlessly hovering around places. Like you see, you know, and you think after all of these centuries, after all of these decades, let's say, I mean, it doesn't matter. Whatever the time period is, it really doesn't matter. Okay, very fairly and vulnerably, let us say, since the 20s, the 40s, and then obviously the 50s and 60s. Okay, after all of those decades, you're telling me that a system has not been put in place that's better than having aliens still taking chances, whizzing by the clouds, hoping the clouds stay there? Oh, look, you know, it's just trying to keep staying in the shadows. They don't have a better system yet. There's not a better system of transport. There's not a better system of entry and leaving and exiting around here and stuff. Especially, I mean, you can't be manipulating the planet without some kind of ally force. After all these years, again, after all of these decades, you're telling me that there isn't an ally force? You're telling me that they don't have connections here? Humans connections, humans who support them, so that it has to be this big cloak and dagger because it's resistance strafing, that there's not a single entity and not a single group who's supported them and now has created some kind of system so that they can do things a little bit better than flying over Mexico and Arizona and places like that. You know what I mean? All right. Abduction. Because after centuries, because after decades, okay, there's still shit that I don't know, they still have to dissect. For Christ, we don't die. You go to school, you dissect a frog a couple of times, and that's it. You don't keep dissecting a frog forever. You know, you come up with a better thing. You come up with a better system, a better process. I understand that there could be experimental stuff, but you're telling me that the best they can do is that they have to just keep coming down here and snatching somebody? They haven't farmed yet? Off of the planet? You haven't taken a damn human and brought him back over to your place? Your place being the alien. They haven't done that yet and farmed? So you have to come here? What kind of high-tech scientists, alien scientists are we talking about? Oh, look, we got a new possibility. Look, I can combine the brain cells with adrenaline chains, lipid chains. Oh, that sounds promising. Let's go scoot over to Earth and grab a few humans and try that. I mean, what? Like, you come up with a good thing, you got to come back over here and grab a few more, and nab a few more people. They haven't come up with a better system yet? Right? You don't farm, they're not farmed already? Aliens are coming here and abducting people. Why? They should be farming us already. There should be heaps of alien farm. What is this? What is some real personal stuff? Like, nah. Zorg says it's not the same. I want a real lifetime, you know, untainted, unlaboratory human. I want to snatch a human right out from the mist of their regular life. And I mean, you know how, you know, it's possible, yes, but the larger percentage of possibility lies, and the reason lies within what I just said before, that one example. Of course, I guess there would be experiments where the point is to snatch somebody, if that was happening, the point would be to snatch somebody from the real-time moment, right then and there, as opposed to a farming. But you're interdimensional travel. You understand the concept of lights. You understand how spatial and temporal are the same thing. And you can't farm a human and yet have that human that you're farming believe. And what, you still have to, no, it has to be a real New York City setting. No, I must pluck from the actual, because aliens cannot, okay, they can travel and zip around the sun, and stuff, but aliens cannot create a simulation and farm a human so that the human could spend its whole life entirely believing that they're in New York City with their family. Aliens can't do that. Can't do that. Okay? They can cloak their ships, they have force fields, force shields, and they can harness energy from the sun, and they can use the subatomic interactions as portals, and sustain and stabilize wormholes and stuff. But simulations can't do that. No. Because I can't have a human in a simulation and all of the chemicals in that human, I can't get those chemicals to be the same as a real human in a real big city. But somehow, what? How? But this human in the simulation, the simulated world that you create, it won't know the difference. He, she won't know the difference. How are the chemical balances in he, she any different than right now when people are telling us that this could also be explained and described in terms of a simulation? So again, zipping, there's no station where they know everything they have to know already. Okay, humans are almost we're leaps and bounds into genetic mapping. Our own selves and other things as well. In fact, a large part of it is just us limiting by the processing power. We know the scripts. We can completely put in a script for the genetic coding of plenty of animals and stuff. It would only last for moments and stuff like that. We don't have the processing power to continue that chain. It's a touchy subject. It's not easy to just blurb out common words on that one, but the point is we know heaps, and you're telling me that aliens still got to conduct scientific experiments? Aliens still have to do their scouting? They still have to sit at the station somewhere on the moon scouting humans? What don't you know already about the damn genetics of us? What don't you know? It's not that hard. It's not that hard. These chemical carbon entities. We've got, if they're having a hard time, they can just look at our textbooks. They can look at our textbooks. They don't have to keep masking themselves and doing this whole cloak and dagger. They just look at our textbooks, dude. There it is. The DNA. There it is. The helix. You see it? You could probably take it from there, right? You want to throw us a bone? Or no? After hundreds of years, there's still shit that they have to figure out. Still shit that they have to figure out about humans.